What do you mean? Of course, we start by busting shots. We don't know nothing better. What? 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 What's going on, beautiful people? Welcome back to the Kasabian Lavoe Show. We are in here like schwimwear. Let's get these lights on. Let's get the show going. Let's get some music playing. Gotta help that boy pay some bills. I mean, do we really feel bad for 6ix9ine? But any of you feel bad for 6ix9ine? I want to really know. Tell me. Like a big hater. Hater. I know. Bra-da-da-da-da. I know, all that. Bra-da-da-da-da. What's going on, beautiful people? What's going on? I know that one is a short one because I can't put my regular one that we use on the pod recording. But what's up? I'm tangled. What's going on, Loner? What up, boy? No. All right, so today's show, I'm highly sunburnt. And how does my mic sound? My mic sound. Mic check 1 2. What is this? What? Kasabian Lavoe. Can I put the echo on my voice? Kasabian Lavoe. No? All right, I'm sorry. I told you I was going to keep fucking with them buttons because they gave them to me. There's so much drama in the LBC. It's kind of hard trying to be Mr. Lavoe. So we got some chatty potty news. So I'm kind of excited to really talk about this whole chatty patty news, which I think is hilarious. But we'll get into today's show. We'll talk about some things while I'm eating these The strawberries that my daughter made me. Bust some shots of Big Papa one time. And these delicious ass strawberries that my baby made. So I had a delivery coming at 4. But the show starts at 4. I was like, how am I supposed to do that? So my baby was supposed to fill in. You see that? Can't waste a strawberry. I don't give a fuck. What that look like? I'm ghetto as shit. What up, loner? Welcome to the Wednesday episode of the Kasabian Lavoe Show. All right, so we'll talk about what we're going to talk about. Let's start recording. We will get into what we're getting into in a minute. I'll break down today's show, and we shall start. I don't know if 6ix9ine is broke, but I do know that Jocelyn dropkicked the shit out of one of them girls last night, and her whole side is fucked up. But bust a shot for Jocelyn. And y'all know what song we coming into. Y'all can't hear it because you know that boot me. And it double recorded last time too. So I gotta hit the kid up that's got those cameras for sale. I don't know why he started like that. What's going on? It's Wednesday. What's good, beautiful people? What's up? Oh, that was terrible. I don't like the beat when I cough. Yeah, it's Kasabian Lavoe Show. What's going on, beautiful people? Bust some shots off. Oh, my bad, wrong button. I'm just mushing buttons. What's going on, beautiful people? Welcome back to the Kasabian Lavoe Show. My name is Kasabian Lavoe. This is episode 303. We're live from Las Vegas, and today we have a very interesting show because there's so much going on. So much is going on, and we will cover everything. Everything. Well, my topics. So not everything. The Nelk Boys are beefing with Jimmy Kimmel. Jimmy Kimmel just doesn't know when to let shit lie and just walk away. He continues to procrastinate and, not procrastinate, but to, what's that shit called? Antagonize these young people. We'll also be talking about Anna, Miss Finding Anna. She was deported. Maybe. We'll talk about Anna Delvey. Miss Anna Delvey, do you take a wire? We'll talk about her. And her Call Her Daddy interview was interesting because I don't listen to the Call Her Daddy girl, but I was really impressed at her questions. Like, it was good over a jail phone. Mike Tyson may possibly be one of the best canapreneur. He's a canapreneur with the ear gummies. First off, if you've never tried Mike Tyson's cannabis products, 21 and up only, keep away and keep out of reach of children. But it's phenomenal. It's probably one of the best weeds out there. So the fact that their marketing is where it's at. Matter of fact, let's bust a shot one time for Mike and his great Mary Joanna. Because I think I get booted if I talk about weed. I don't even know how that works. I don't know. Let's talk about what the Breakfast Club did with their trash ass NFTs. That I'm over the giant companies fucking up what it is. So let's just get into what NFTs really are once again and what the Breakfast Club has attempted to do. And it's falling flat. Can we be honest? It's just not. It's not what I thought it would be, and it's just embarrassing to have a multi-billion-dollar company behind you, and then they put out trash-ass shit and just make people fucking feel like they're special. Godfrey, the comedian Godfrey, he's had a tuffle or a scuffle. I don't even know. Is it a kerfuffle? He had a kerfuffle with T.I., and we'll talk about that and why he bitched out. Collin Kapernick. Collin Kaepernick seems that he wants to be a slave. Yeah. Remember, he did a whole docuseries on Netflix as to why the NFL was slave owners and how the NFL was basically like the new age slavery. And all weekend, he's just been practicing. He's just been practicing to be a slave again. That's what he said. So we're going to use his words. Remember, they treat him like animals and cattle, chattel, and all this shit. And he's just out there throwing the old pigskin. He's like fucking Al Bundy at this point. He really is. He's a fucking clown. I'm going to fold his ass up like a lawn chair. Facebook made a TikTok page. Weird. And our top story for today is 6ix9ine broke. And we'll definitely jump into this Jimmy Kimmel story because Jimmy Kimmel got me a little pissed the fuck off with this. But we'll talk about Jimmy. California's banning flipping. Flipping homes may be coming to an end because of. We'll talk about why. Because it doesn't really make any sense. But we'll talk about it. And then another issue in real estate, nationwide rent control. Why that's a bad thing, why that's a good thing, what do I think about it, and what can we learn from what they're doing? Hold on. I like that I can do that. I clear my nose a lot because it's ginormous and there's just a bunch of shit in there. So I can, and nobody hears it. It's fucking awesome. Why haven't we used this? All right, let's get into today's show. Can we stop talking about NFTs? No, we're not going to stop talking about NFTs because when I put out the NFT for the live shows, you're going to buy one. Like, what are you talking about? NFTs are genius. NFT, okay, we're here. Let's get into today's topic. My bad. I just like the stupid horn because I feel like it does something. But let's jump into the whole NFT thing. And as we continue to see this NFT trend, unfortunately, corporations do what corporations do. And people that have money that shouldn't be involved in shit get involved in shit. When NFTs were first discussed, it was an idea that you would take an image or a moment in time and freeze it and then mint that moment in time, making it a one of one and making it a unique piece and making it very special, making it almost an authentic piece of art. Not everything is art. Your doodles suck. Literally suck. If you couldn't sell artwork before, then nothing changes it now because you call it an NFT. It has no value. Gary Vee has already expressed that 98% of NFTs that are out today will hit zero. They are trash. You are wasting money. You're literally just sliding money back and forth, and it's stupid. Stop wasting your money. Look for NFTs that have utility. They're tools. NFTs is a smart contracts. Excuse me. An NFT is a smart contract. That sounded like the dumbest fucking sentence ever. But NFTs are smart contracts that can be used for many, many things. And real artists can benefit from them. But in all honesty, I think the utility part of it, as far as home ownership or as far as maybe great pieces of work or access to certain things, are almost a necessary evil because our checks and balances are out the window. They really are. Like, social security numbers don't work. Biometrics have been hacked. Your fingers get hacked all the time. Having a certificate of authenticity on the blockchain is very, very powerful. They don't talk about that. You see clown ass shit like this where they give you moments of the Breakfast Club when they use an image of, I guess it's supposed to be Envy pretending to be Soulja Boy when he was doing the Drake thing. And it's trash. It looks like some fucking high school kid that was in Paint or on their iPad diddle-daddled, and then they called them NFTs, moments of NFT. They're not moments. Those aren't moments. Nobody gives a shit. Nobody wants those moments. There's no moments on the Breakfast Club that are worth anything. The idea was like some kid would take a picture of LeBron James when he was dunking, and you would catch that picture. And that one picture was going to be so phenomenal, and everybody would want to license it and use it for posters. That kid could then turn that into an NFT, and then that could be all over fucking magazines and newspapers and shit, and he would get paid for it. Nobody gives a shit about Angela Yee holding hot sauce, stupid ass Envy, and anything else. It's just dumb as shit, bro. It continues to be stupidity. Y'all could have done something so dope. Y'all could have made an NFT for Summer Jam. I'm not even gonna give you more information. As much money as y'all got, y'all fell flat on this. This shit is ass. And all the older people that think this is a thing, stop falling for this shit. NFTs will end up on the side of gas stations and shit. They'll literally have like a fucking scanner for you for like $4 in a couple years. This is embarrassing. Hey, stop being lazy and change your light bulbs. I'm so sick and tired of driving and just seeing high beams because your bulb went out and you're too lazy to fix it. Like, it's like $5. Let's just say it is a financial issue. I understand that. I can definitely understand when times are tough. But there's no reason that you need to fuck up my driving experience because you don't want to change your light bulb, don't know how, or don't have the bread. Sorry. Maybe you shouldn't drive your fucking car like that. How about that? Don't drive at night. Sit your ass at home. Bust a shot for Big Papa.
A few moments later.
So Godfrey had beef with T.I. Not really. T.I. wants to be a comedian because music isn't paying anymore. He's old and he wants to try something different, which is awesome. Because when I got old, I tried this. He tried this shit too. Expeditiously didn't work. They expeditiously got his ass out of here. Super expeditiously. So now T.I. is trying comedy. The thing about comedy is that comedy is like underground hip hop, right? And what T.I. is doing is what basketball players have done to rappers our whole careers. When rappers are on fire, you'll meet an athlete, and that athlete will want to jump into the game. And because they have fame from something else, they think that that fame translates to this new thing. No, the fuck it doesn't. I'm so sick of that shit. No, T.I., you are a rapper, a failed podcaster, but a rapper. You have to remember, we tell everybody, you have to make sure you are a failed podcast. Like, you just got to say that because you just quit. You just quit. It was dope. It could have been something better, but it just wasn't working. And now the comedy thing. That's great that you want to try comedy. Do it the right way. Maybe go out, step up on stage in front of a crowd that don't know you. But no, that's not what he does. He goes out there and bogarts giant crowds that somebody else with more. Okay, Godfrey, he had a whole packed out show in Atlanta, and then T.I. shows up after he headlines the show, and then T.I. does a set. No. Could you imagine if 50 Cent was in Madison Square Garden, shut down the Garden, did his thing, final act, and here comes T.I. fucking on 24's court? No. Just because you're T.I. don't mean you're bigger than Godfrey. Like, no. You're T.I. You're a rapper, not a comedian. And Godfrey bitched out. That's all he did. He went on Breakfast Club and he was kissing ass and dragging feet. And I would have told T.I. to suck a dick, get the fuck out of here, stop stepping on people's shit, and find your own way. It's not fair what you're doing. You're just as bad as the basketball players that want to be rappers and they think that just because they're ballers, they can come over here. No, motherfucker, you got to earn this shit. Bro, besides Shamar Shumper, Shamar saying his name wrong? I know him and one other basketball player that are like phenomenal rappers, and one was a singer. Was it Dalapipo? Boop Balapipo or some shit? He was on The Masked Singer. I don't know sports. Some dude named Boop Balapipo was a phenomenal singer, and I think he was hitting on Nicole Schwarzenegger or whatchamacallit that one time, and he got her. Good for him. But no, T.I., your jokes are trash. Sit your ass down, write some real jokes, learn it the right way, man. You know what really pisses me off about this? That he thinks he can do it because he thinks it's easy, and that makes him corny. There's literally 1,000 professional comedians, maybe less, in the entire world. 8 billion people, 1,000 comedians. 1,000. Let that sink in. The idea that a rapper that's retired wants to come in and ruin somebody else's experience and what they do, you're fucking pathetic for that. I don't care. You're trash for that. It was cool at first. I was like, yeah, you're trying something new. That's fine, but do it the right way, bro. Do it the right way. You don't just jump in the ring and think you could just box because you threw a couple hands and shit like that. Fuck out of here, bro. He thinks he's fucking Jake Paul, yo. Sit down. Go hit a comedy club where nobody knows it's you. Or go down to Cali. How about you get the fuck up out of Atlanta, go to Cali, hit a stage, go to New York, go to the Cellar. Go to the Cellar. Let them boo you off stage a couple times and learn that shit, bro. It's not fair. So many people have to go through so many struggles just to get, an ounce of success. And you were very successful in one thing. Stay your ass out of this lane, dog. Godfrey's pussy for that. That's your shoe. What shoe? What? I don't know what shoe that is. What does that mean? Nobody knows. Okay.
A few moments later.
I'm gonna use that as a segue. So, daylight savings may finally be over. The dumbest shit that I've been fighting this since before potting. I've been fighting this for a long time. I told y'all the story. When I turned 18, my first voting experience was a local state vote, and the one on there that made me super excited was that one and some freeway expansion shit, but stop daylight savings. We live right next to Arizona, like 45 minutes. It's like an hour and change, but I can get to fucking Bullhead pretty quickly. The idea that going to Bullhead with the time never moving and then coming right back to Vegas and the time changing immediately, it's the weirdest shit ever. It's so weird. Like, somebody said the reason why, well, I was reading why Arizona doesn't change is because they sit at a certain spot where it doesn't matter. That's bullshit, bro. Time, the whole concept of it all, it's all a human construct. So the idea of having daylight savings, it was just as simple as saying no, and they continue to make the shit so fucking difficult. It was really simple. Stop doing it. That's it. We don't want to do it anymore. Stop fucking doing it. It doesn't make any sense. It's not the 1800s, bro. We're not using fucking sundials to find out what time it is. Enough. Be adults. We're the only fucking country that does this dumb shit. The reason why kids are off in the summer from school is because that's when they had to go to the farm and help their parents back in the day. There's 300 million people in America. Nobody's doing that shit anymore. I'm sorry. Nobody is, bro. There's no fucking no. Thank God daylight savings is over. It was unanimous. Now they're taking it to the House. Hopefully it'll be unanimous there too. Get this shit out of here. I'm sick of these old laws. I'm sick of these old ways that make no sense. Bro, I've been groggy for the past 4 days. That shit hit me Saturday like a ton of bricks. Sunday, slept all day. Monday, y'all saw what happened Monday. Gunshots for Big Papa one time that don't got to deal with daylight savings no more. But thank God we got that shit out of here. Let's get an air horn for that. That's real. I'm so happy that we're finally doing things that are productive in society, like getting rid of stupid ass fucking laws like this. I'm not, no. I'm not even gonna, no, I'm over it. What's your shoe? I'm confused. What is did you mean that's your shit? Or is that your shoe? Talk to me. I don't know what you're talking about. Don't make me bust off some shots. Do I gotta bust off shots for Big Papa? No? All right. I won't. But Godfrey pussed out. All right, Anna Delvey. Do you take a wire? Or I'll wire you. You know what? Let me tell you something. One, Shorty from Ozark. I keep on reading these like phenomenal reviews. All right, if y'all say so. Maybe not my place. Oh yeah, Masked Singer. Yeah, I fuck with Masked Singer. T-Pain made me cry when T-Pain came out and he did that Sam. Oh man, I'll auto-tune that shit. And whatever the fuck he did. Anna Delvey. Anna Delvey's a rapper. She literally came up with a fake name, came up with a fake story, and rode that shit until the wheels fell off. She didn't hurt anybody. A bunch of snobby ass rich people that got tricked by somebody that was clever with a sharper tongue. That's all. She got caught up because it was excessive. Maybe too excessive. Maybe fucking with people that were in corporate America was a bad idea. Just a bad move. But nonetheless, Anna Delvey is the greatest rapper of all time. She literally made up a story about, well, according to her, because she was on Call Me Daddy today. If you don't know Call Me Daddy, that's a dope-ass exclusive show on Spotify. Go over and check it out and listen to the interview for yourself. She's in jail on FaceTime because they FaceTime over there. And she's able to have like 5-minute spurts of interviewed questions, and she answers. And that lady is as delusional as the fucking character in the show. She really is. Like, they literally was like, yo, you know you don't have money. Why do you keep saying you're going to pay people back? Well, she was like, well, I thought it was going to work. She's so fucking convinced. No. It was going to work. So if I didn't say I can pay you back, then that means I didn't believe in myself and it wasn't going to work. So she just kept riding the lie. I don't know. I can't blame her for that. What if it would have connected? Then what? She's out of jail. She's supposed to be being deported. We don't know if she's being deported. My question is, she has fame now. I mean, she's accomplished something because now people can look at her and say, well, she's a draw. Where does it go from here? How do you trust Anna Delvey from here? Or Anna, whatever her real name is. But Anna Delvey, the rapper, how do you trust her from here? It's an amazing story because it happened so recently. And I'm a little scared of how fast documentaries continue to just appear because they're not done yet. Her story isn't done. She's still in jail. Like, we're watching the Netflix thing. I just listened to her interview and she's being deported. It's too fast. I saw there's a fucking docuseries right now getting made or being made on Versus. Sit down. That's how I feel. Collin Kapernick. You know, for a person that... Did I talk about him? I just don't understand what's wrong with that guy.
A few moments later.
Between that. But listen, Collin Kaepernick did a whole docuseries, had a whole 10-year run shitting on the NFL because the NFL is nothing but slave owners and it's slavery and it's just literally a mirrored image of what it was to be and in like the worst times of our country. That's basically his description. Like, I wish I had the cut so y'all could hear what he has to say. He literally has shit on the NFL for the past 10 years, but continues to go outside like a bitch and throw the fucking ball. Answer me my question. What's the fucking point, dog? I thought you said you don't fuck with them. Go home. Quit. Go play soccer. You're 40 years old now, bro. You was ass when you was in the fucking in the NFL. What are we supposed to think of you now? Walk away. Let it go. If they're slave owners, if they're this, if they're that, then why the fuck do you want to play with them? That's like when dudes get mad at girls and like they continue to berate them. It's kind of like this whole Kanye Kim situation, almost. But it's sick. Let it go. Go away. Shut the fuck up. You divided the whole country and have done nothing. There's no new laws. There's no new police reform. There's no police reform in California. All they do is tweet. Him and his wife just tweet. They are garbage people. You started all this shit and did nothing. You accomplished nothing. It's the most embarrassing shit to really think that you have shit on the NFL for the past, what? I swear to God, it's been 10 years. 10 years you shit on the NFL and you still want to play for the NFL. What are we doing? What are you doing? Didn't they fucking get rid of you already? Nobody fucking wants you, dude. You're a liability. You're not a star. There's some... Bro, watch LeBron James. LeBron James is 975 years old. At this point, I'm convinced LeBron James played basketball with dinosaurs. He's playing with kids. Who does Collin Kapernick... Bro, I bet you right now I could find two 19-year-olds and a 22-year-old that'll fold his ass up like a lawn chair, bro. Put the brakes on that boy. Couldn't even... Boy, they'll blow his ass out his shoes. Stop it. Stop it. Bro, you're a high school level football player. I don't even know sports, but I know that. I'm just over it, bro. I'm over it. Dead ass. It is over for Cap. Bust a couple shots for Big Papa. It's just pathetic, bro. Give it up. It's pathetic. Nobody gives a shit, dog. Like, I can't. I'm seeing these videos, and I'm like, are y'all serious? Somebody was like, oh, maybe he can go play at the Seahawks. I'm like, do what? Waterboy? So what, when the contract ain't going right or when the game ain't going right, he start protesting again and start his bullshit again? Come on now. What did you really do? Nothing. What did you change? Nothing. You're still a mixed kid from the suburbs that comes from a very wealthy family. You're overpaid for what you did. Then you blew your shot. You're running out of money. And all you and your old lady can do is tweet about all the shit that you didn't do. Word. Kasabian Lavoe. I just gotta hit the Kasabian Lavoe. I want to get that drop. That Don DeMarco. I like Don DeMarco. But dead ass, I can't, y'all. I really watch this whole Cap shit, and I'm like, is this a joke? This must be. Somebody help me understand. Because to me, it's just racist at this point. He's racist. How you gonna say they slave owners, but you want to run over there and go play for them? Help me understand, y'all. What's with this dude, bro? Honestly, what's with this dude? I can't. I want it to make sense because I really think he might want change, but I want change. I've always wanted change. I'm from the hood, though. I've been beat up by the police in front of my house. I've been harassed by the police. I've been in cars that cost more than houses and been harassed by police. I understand what it is to be harassed by police. I get it. That's why I've always had so many, and I've had plenty of episodes where we talk about what we want to do with police reform, real police reform, and what it would look like. But instead, you get shit like this. It's so weird. It's just weird. I'm not sure if we talked about Kim and how Kim's not insensitive. That comment that Kim made about working hard, it's not that she's insensitive, it's that Kim has this thing that she thinks she's woke now because of Ye. Don't let it fool you. She thinks that she said some deep ass prolific shit. Unfortunately, to tell you the truth, working hard doesn't mean shit. When I say work hard, I mean work hard at it, not work hard at a job that's not going nowhere. I guess my speech or whatever for working hard, fuck working hard, network. My biggest weakness in life was networking. Network. The more people you know, the more valuable you are, the more money you can make. As long as you have a skill and you can use that skill to make money, you can live a great life, even with an average job, as long as you have good credit. Working hard really doesn't do much. You should work hard when you're good at something and when it's yours to build it. But if you're an employee, that doesn't mean you don't work hard. It just means that you work accordingly and you don't stress yourself out over somebody else's company. Working hard really doesn't mean shit. And it has to be used in context, because I do want you to work hard, because I want you to work valuable. Like you can't just show up and be a body. You have to show up and be something that's worth something. So yes, you have to work hard, but not in her sense. Like, we're talking about I bitch all the time about my parents and my grandparents leaving me on my face. My grandparents came here from Puerto Rico, sold drugs. My mom and my dad weren't even together. They had me. My dad went off and fucking did college and had a great life. My mother, single mom with kids and shit. And you know how the story goes. I was raised by my grandparents. And honestly, if I would have been born on the other side and born in Manhattan, I'd probably be in a Fortune 500 company, moving numbers and shit around. But that's not the case for me, right? Excuse me. I know that I've set my kids up to have a way better future than what I had. And sometimes people can't see past themselves. And I understand that you have to at some point, you kind of have to just make sure the next generation is set. And that was my goal off rip, because I saw the detriment behind it. Excuse me. There's nothing wrong with having a push. It's like when people go, I can't believe Donald Trump's dad gave him $100 million. He's such a piece of shit. So LeBron ain't supposed to give his son money? What about Diddy? What about Jay and Blue Ivy? What about 50 and his kids? You want me to keep going? How about Kevin Hart and his kids? How about Steve Harvey and his kids? I could do this all day. Mark Anthony, he's not going to give his kids money? How about J-Lo? How about Mariah Carey? Nick Cannon? Grant Cardone, is he not going to give his kids money? And why not? Don't get mad that your parents didn't put you in a better position. You see, we love to point fingers, but in reality, the choices of our past will always follow us. And if our family did shit before and we're not taking care of shit now, and it's real simple: ownership, credit, and education. Maybe not in that order, but that's pretty much how you leave the next generation set off. Make sure the education is set. Make sure you leave them something of value and teach them how to earn something of value. And then understanding credit is one of the biggest things out there. Don't get mad because somebody, like, what do you think? My kids are supposed to just get into the game broke? For you? Shit. That's what I'm saying. I want to get some trust fund money myself and be like Anna Delvey. I appreciate you, my boy. Man, bust some shots off. We hit the air horn one time. Hey, man, look, just bust some claps. Fuck it. Appreciate y'all for watching. So let's get into the articles that we got to read and all the shit that we're reading. And this is frustrating. The only reason why it bothers me when I see anything about Jimmy Kimmel's, because I know where Jimmy Kimmel came from. That goofball was on the Man Show over there rubbing pee-pee holes and talking all types of reckless shit for you. Remember, I'm Karl Malone of the Utah Jazz. Y'all remember that shit with all the blackface? Nobody says nothing about that. But then he goes and he cries about his child's health, and we're supposed to give a fuck. I'm sorry, my boy. That's not how that goes. You're a dick. Old Hollywood doesn't understand new Hollywood or new talent. These YouTubers are so fucking talented, and they put in so much work. It's a different talent. It's not the talent that you think. Now, I'm not saying all of them. It's just like all actors aren't the same. We all agree that some actors are overpaid and worth shit. But, bro, when you have to shoot a video, come up with the concept, write a script, come up with the concept, write a treatment, film it, learn how to set up the cameras, have a production crew, have an editing crew, have a crew that makes just the perfect thumbnail, the perfect caption, the perfect descriptions, then market it properly. These are kids. They're fucking kids. I never thought I would do as much work as I'm doing now for my own podcast. These kids do it on a daily, and they figured out how to master it. Jimmy Kimmel is one of those people that you got to put something in front of him because he's too stupid to walk through the door. You got to go, hey, walk through the door, Jimmy. Walk through the door. If you didn't watch the the Full Send podcast with Donald Trump, obviously it was going to get taken down. There's still a hard on for Donald Trump. If you don't mention Donald Trump, your ratings pretty much flop. Like, all the news has been shit since Donald left, and Big T's on his way back. So why wouldn't we see Big T out there stomping around? And what's going to happen when he becomes president again? Do they still keep him off the internet? Does he sign a legislation that tells them to SMD, and he just becomes the social media god that he was? Because that dude would tweet every day, and they was on that shit like flies, right? So Jimmy Kimmel, you know, him, Trevor Noah, bro, it's like a whole collective of fucking goofs. But hey, let's get into the story from Fox and what happened. So if you didn't see Trump on the Nelk Boys Full Send podcast, he was on there. They knew it was going to get pulled down. It did about 5 million views. They gifted Trump a $500,000 Rolex. I think it was a platinum Rolex or was it rose gold? A platinum presidential Rolex. I mean, come on now. These guys, these kids are different. Who the fuck gives Donald Trump a $500,000 watch? So I got a pulled quote from Fox News. Nothing too lengthy. I don't know where the hell Jimmy was speaking because I don't watch regular television. I really don't care. And Jimmy Kimmel, to me, honestly, is what I consider, he's washed up. He really is washed up, bro. When I saw that bullshit where all he did was talk about his kid and they canceled him and he came right back, it's like, hey, bro, you did blackface. Fuck that. Everybody else did blackface is gone. You need to go too. If what's good for the goose is good for the gander. You sound just like fucking, what's his name from Slaughterhouse. All right, so the story's from Fox News. One of the great things, this was a quote from Kimmel at this award show. One of the great things about Trump is it doesn't matter who's interviewing him. It could be George Stephanopoulos or 3 doofuses who brought a 12-pack of hard seltzer along with them, and he's going to answer it the same way. That's offensive, and you're a fucking idiot. And this is why we need people like me to tell you you're a fucking idiot. That's not funny. Nobody laughed. You're corny as shit. And your 75-year-old fucking audience that gives a fuck about your trash-ass jokes, they can go to hell with you, bro. That's trash. Kyle from the Nelk Boys responded. If you don't know the Nelk Boys, maybe look into them before I start going. Because these dudes are uberly successful. And like, stupid. Like, I can't even express how big they've gotten paused worldwide. Like, audience, watch time. These guys are literally premier. So Kyle, a member of the Nelk Boys group and the co-host of the Full Send podcast, responded to Kimmel on Tuesday, blasting him as washed up and irrelevant. I agree. This small group of YouTubers has way more views than you, buddy. Kimmel used to be way funnier, but now he's just washed up and irrelevant. The only reason you get views is because you're owned by Disney. Let that sink in. Disney owns your show, so YouTube forces it onto everybody's homepage. Nobody wants to see your shit. And then the great Timmy D had to pitch in something because Tim Dillon's the most prolific comedian that we got to date. Timmy D, he commented on what Kimmel said. He said, Kimmel is unhappy about being outworked by younger and more creative people. And let's be honest, Kimmel hasn't been the most creative person. Pretty much never. The older generation was bought off years ago and are now being replaced by younger, harder working, and more creative people, and are not taking it well. Now, I agree with Tim, and there's flaws in what he said, because yes, there is some very, very special, talented kids out there. But for every 10,000 of them, there's probably one. Same as in Hollywood, nothing different. The problem is that a Kimmel will try to shit on these kids that have created their own way. Listen, if the highest rated TV show only does 2.5 million to 2.2 million views a night, and Rogan does 11. These guys are up there too. They did 5 million in 12 hours. Or 24. Still 5 million. Like, you really discount what 5 million means. How about 11 million per episode a week? We're talking about 30 million a week for Rogan. Kimmel doesn't come nowhere near that, bro. You need Disney's billions of dollars to continue to pay you and keep you where you are. You're basically a Walmart employee, bro. And not even like a necessary one. You're like the guy that just stands at the door and checks receipts. You a bum. So LA wants to get rid of... Your daddy got money like that, like trust fund money? Because my daddy was a bitch. My grandfather told him to get the fuck out of New York, and he moved to D.C. I feel like the screens are too dark. I don't know what's going on. My monitor screen... Oops. Why'd I do that? Maybe I shouldn't have done that. Yo, I know I should have touched that shit. Did it zoom in? It did. Ugh, I knew it. Hold on. I swear I did not touch it. Okay, I did touch it. That was my fault. I was just fucking with this. I didn't realize. So we have the camera set up, and I keep a monitor so I can know where I'm looking, and then I have my teleprompter. The monitor's touchscreen. Fuck, I didn't know that. I've never touched that shit before. My bad, y'all. We back. We back. I'm sorry. Let's clap it up one time. Let's get to these next stories. So, y'all know I'm in real estate, and y'all understand that real estate is a very touchy subject when it comes to everybody being owners and rent and blah, blah, blah. Excuse me. My nose itches. There's one thing I can say about having a house and owning a house. And people go, oh, owning isn't for everybody. Shut up. Shut the fuck up. I'm so sick of people saying that. Yes, it is for everybody. Owning is for everybody. You're being lazy and you're afraid. And then people feed the bullshit to you. Oh, if something breaks, you got to spend all your money to fix it. It's so hard when things are broken. What am I supposed to do? Something's broken. Shut the fuck up. Fix it. It's called insurance. Why do people talk like there's only one way to live? It is so beyond me. What do you think happens when something, my toilet clogged up? I swear to God, this studio is possessed. It looks dope, but it's possessed. I don't even know why I did that. Yo, what the fuck is happening today? Owning a house is not as expensive as it seems. Now, bullshitting with a rental for the rest of your life, that's a different story. When you live in a rental, all you do is pad somebody else's pockets. The reason why these lawmakers are trying to stop flippers or they're trying to create rent controls because they don't understand, they don't understand the real issue. The real issue is that hedge funds have been buying houses at a record rate. 10 times, 100 times, 1,000 times faster than regular people could purchase homes. Do you understand how difficult it is to compete with a company that can overpay for any piece of property they want because they know in the long run they can run the price up? What these giant corporations do is that they buy the houses and they take them off the market, so supply and demand is off. Of course, there's no supply and demand when a corporation comes in and buys 40 houses. It doesn't make any sense. You're forcing people into rentals. So rental prices have gone up because there's no houses. There's nothing here. I'm going to speak for Vegas, but mostly around the country, it's all the same shit. These giant hedge funds are coming in, and cities like Vegas, Arizona, Florida, California, and New York get bought up left and right by these hedge funds, and they put people in positions where they can't even own a piece of property ever. So then they dictate pricing, they dictate rent pricing, they dictate the city. You don't allow people to become first-time home buyers, and you don't allow people to build their wealth. Owning a home is a superpower. I don't care what nobody says. Owning a home is a superpower. If you're afraid to fix a couple of things, and then you might as well just stay broke for the rest of your life. The bill isn't going to help anything. To stop flippers, you're not doing anything. What California needs to do is allow people to build real houses in California instead of building. I'm never going to forget it. I saw $1 million home. The shit was like 700 square feet, 800 square feet with one bathroom for $1 million. Fuck do you mean? That should be against the law to have anything with 2 or 3 bedrooms for $1 million with one bathroom. Are you fucking me? Like, who thinks that that's okay? I want to sue the state of California for just inhumanity. I feel like you've lowered the value of everybody's life. Your quality of life goes away when they do this to you. New York City, we'll talk about it on Friday, but New York City wants to add more land to Manhattan. How about you just fucking move? Why do you want to make that fucking place any bigger? Move. The country is 80% undeveloped. Get the fuck out of New York. What is the point of packing more people in that fucking place? You have there's so many broke people. What's the point? 500,000 people on housing. 500,000 people on housing. The 500,000 people that you could put somewhere else and they can live a way better life. This doesn't do shit. They think they're fixing things, but they don't see the problem. This whole fiduciary bullshit with these giant companies that think that they're going to take care of your... I'm telling you, my problem with investing. It doesn't make any fucking sense. We got to be fiduciary to the investors. Well, what about the people that make the company move? When the fuck are you fiduciary to them? That's my beef. When do you become a fiduciary for them? I'm not sure what the website was that we got the story from, or not a website, but the article came from LAist, LAIST. So you can look up the story yourself. It's a long one, so let's hang in there and let's blow on one time. So a new state bill is designed to discourage home flipping, the practice of buying homes and quickly selling them for a profit. Its author says he's trying to prevent speculators, God, my fucking mouth, speculators from further driving up home prices. Flippers don't drive up home prices. Supply and demand drives up home prices. Introduced by Assembly Member Chris Ward, AB 1771 would impose a 25% tax on profits of homes sold within the first 3 years after purchase. The tax rate would decline every year after and expire after 7 years. In quotes, it's aimed to change behavior so that speculators are specifically putting their profits at risk and would decide to invest elsewhere instead of scooping up more and more homes. Flippers aren't what's fucking up the economy at all. And flippers aren't necessarily speculators that hold on to properties. It's never in the flipper's best interest to hold a property. Flippers want to turn and burn. The only people that are holding on to properties are giant corporations like Zillow, Blackstone, etc., etc. The small flippers aren't doing this. They can't. They don't have the power to. Only way you could change the market is if you buy 400 houses in a month and then go, don't sell them. You ruin supply and demand. It's supply and demand. It's a free fucking market, but because they have so much money, you can't stop them. If you want to pass a law, stop the fucking hedge funds from doing what they're doing. Stop them. Allow people to own homes. There's a certain point in time where we're going to have to say, okay, these corporations cannot interfere with what the public does to live. If giant corporations are allowed to continue to move in such a manner, the regular everyday person has to be emboldened to the goddamn corporations. We can stop this. Y'all don't remember The Big Short? Stop the bullshit. That would in turn leave the doors open for traditional homeowners to have their bids accepted. He's so off. It's not even funny. According to the bill, investors are responsible for more than half of the home sales in Southern California. They are. But again, we're talking about giant corporations, not home flippers. I guarantee you home flippers aren't able to even... You just can't buy that house. You can't buy so many. You can only hold 10 houses under your name. You know that, right? 10 houses won't change the whole fucking economy of the state. So let's say me and my wife have 20 houses. That's still not enough to change home prices. Like, yeah, we can go up because we're adding value to the house. So we're not raising the price just because. When you raise the prices because you've added value. Free market. But but if we can only buy 10 houses or we can only have 10 loans, I understand the giant hedge fund has $1 gajillion. I'm not mad at them for doing that, but maybe they should keep their fucking money elsewhere because it's no good over here. You want to impose this tax on regular people? Impose this tax on people that have the funds. These corporations shouldn't be allowed to buy these houses and do what they're doing. While nationally, 18% is being bought up by investors. They just have to stop confusing investors with flippers. In quotes, it's really trying to create a very specific targeted incentive, Ward said, and that would in turn level the playing field and help those who want to be a part of the community long term. Wrong. What'll help the field being leveled is better loans and easier loans to get. If I can afford to pay rent for 6 years, you can give me a home loan. Stop with the bullshit. We have to change how we give out home loans. If a person has been able to maintain an apartment for more than 2 or 3 years, they will be able to pay for a fucking home loan. Affordable housing doesn't mean small shitty houses. Affordable housing means affordable bank loans. Banks that make all their money off of us from overdraft fees, those people, they should be forking over money left and fucking right so that we could buy homes. The bill would direct the revenue. Oh, and this is great. So we're going to take the money from those that invest their hard-earned money to turn a profit. Then they're going to take their money, because this is what California does with everything. California does not know how to let shit be. The bill would direct the revenue to the community. Will it? You're going to reinvest in communities? When the fuck have y'all ever done that? Under this, I don't know if you heard, but just yesterday, all of government got a raise. That's crazy. Under this fund, money would be allocated to multiple projects, including at least 1/3 for county level affordable housing and nearly half infrastructure. So we're going to take the money from somebody else to give it to somebody else. Instead of rearranging how the banks give money, let's just take other hardworking people's money, right? Instead of stopping hedge funds from fucking up the market, we'll take hard-earning people like me and my wife go and flip a house, and we have a 30% return. I got to give you 25%, so I only get 5% back for all the hard work I did to make that house the value that it is because of what? This doesn't mean anything. Those should be sent right back into local communities because they're also suffering, he said. So I see this as a way to try and recapture. It's not your fucking money to recapture. Some of the equity that otherwise goes into bank accounts. Nobody's putting money in bank accounts. And make sure that's going right into our local communities. What they mean by right into our local communities is in their pockets. Every single fucking governor, every single mayor, every single douchebag out there that says they're trying to help you, if they're not making $15 an hour, they're not working for you, and they're supposed to. Some real estate industry experts question whether the bill would have much success in lowering prices. They argue that increasing the housing supply would have much more impact. Which is what the problem is. We don't have enough houses. So they're saying just build more houses and that shit will bring a level. My problem is if we build more houses and the goddamn corporations keep coming in and buying them up, then what's the point? The San Diego Democratic bill includes an exemption for military service members and first-time homebuyers. Ward said that he's tweaking the legislation to avoid penalizing non-flippers who end up having to sell their home within 7 years. So it doesn't even affect flippers. In reality, the bill is to stop you from selling your home at any profit. My uncle bought a house in 2019. In 2020, it went up $30,000. Now we're looking at probably a $50 to $60, maybe even an $80,000 profit, and he should be able to refi or sell it and take that money. Under this bill, they would take most of that money because they say so. Not because he needs a bigger home, a smaller home, or because he feels like fucking moving, or because he feels like taking the profits that he earned from his home. Just because they say. It doesn't make any sense, y'all. You can't get 1,000 houses. Sit your ass down. Oh, 100. Okay, you can do 100. You can do 1,000 if you want to, but you have to structure it under LLCs, and you have to have there's a bunch of shit that goes along with buying that many properties just because of law. There's property management you have to get, certain types of insurances you have to get. Like I said, the LLC definitely protect you. Different conversation for a different time. Did the video change after we came back, by the way? Loner? Anybody out there? All right. This is our last story for... Oh, no, it's not our last story. Is it our last story? It seems like it's our last story. What the fuck is going on? Did we not have the complex story on here? I feel like we didn't. I had a whole complex story, and I didn't get it. Oh, the 6ix9ine shit. Why? I missed that whole story. No, we talked about 6ix9ine. Bet. My bad. I had all types of... I told you it was a long show, and we had a lot of shit to get in, and I'm unfortunately just all over the place. And shout out to everybody that followed. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Look, y'all are real stars, because without y'all, I ain't shit. Thank y'all for being here under all the technical difficulties. Listen, this is the joy of going live. When you go live, you don't know what the hell is going to happen, and we're in it for the long haul. All right, so this is our last story for today. It's from the Wall Street Journal, and it's about rent control. I'm from New York. In New York, there's rent control, and rent control is very detrimental. What people don't understand when it comes to rent control is because y'all love shitting on corporations. Again, if me and my boy Loner here own a building, let's say we own a building in the Bronx, and that building was a 5-story building, and it cost us $500,000 a year in maintenance to maintain the building, right? Which sometimes people that live there might not see that, but we'll just give it a flat number of $500,000 a year. Let's say mortgage on a building that has 20 or 30 units in New York City. Let's say a year in mortgage, this person spends probably $10 million, and they're able to recoup. Their profits might be like $2.5 million a year, right? I don't know. I'm just making numbers up, just arbitrary numbers. So when you have rent control, you can't justify certain rents. In New York City, the upper apartments, that the top floors were actually cheaper than the lower apartments because there wasn't elevators. So you would have a better view, but you would have hell to pay because you had to climb all the stairs. As time changed and elevators came about, obviously the taller, better views became more sought out by people with money, as opposed to poor people that had no choice but to take the 5th floor, 6th floor, 7th floor because there was no elevator, there was no easy way up. So all the rich folks stayed at the bottom floor. It was easy for them to get out and go. There was a point in time in New York City when rent control really fucking devastated the Bronx. You see buildings crumbled all over the place. They started making rent $200, $300. It's not fair. If I'm charging rent, it's usually accordingly, and I know a lot of people might not understand why rent's gone up, but like I said before, these corporations come in and buy houses, they lock the houses down, they don't sell them. There's less houses now for sale, so the market's off. The apartment complexes understand that they can now drive up the prices because they have more people trying to get an apartment. It's supply and demand. When you need, or when people are in need, you got to bring up the price to slow it down. It's unfortunate, but it's business 101. Economics is the use of materials or sparse materials in a different manner. Damn, I can't fucking think of the right way to say it. And I know it. If you look at the definition of economics, it's like it's basically how you use certain materials in different ways, right? Like everybody goes, oh, why is wood so expensive? Because wood is used for a lot of shit. Wood is used for houses. Wood is used for paper. Wood is used for furniture. Wood is used for many, many things. Then they think about gas and they go, oh, we got to get rid of gas. You can't. They use oil in so many things. Everything in your house that has plastic, everything in your house, I mean, it's not just gas. You know, people don't realize petroleum jelly, your lotions, chapstick. There's so many things that use gas. They use that oil that they hate. Oh, we got to get rid of all the oil. You can't. It's economics. The oil is used for so many things. And that's why prices change and vary, because let's say somebody starts making more plastic somethings, they're going to need more oil. So it's going to drive prices on one side. That's what's happening on rent. There's no houses. People can't move into houses. So everybody's moving into apartments, and apartments have to raise their prices to slow it down because they don't got a room either. They can't afford to keep all the people in there. And you're going to have more expenses because you're going to have more people coming in there, more traffic, more. It's just more. Rent control does not work. It doesn't. The problem is these fucking corporations. Until they understand that's the problem, we're going to be fucked forever. Stories from the Wall Street Journal. Lawmakers across the U.S. are looking to enact rent control revive measures largely shunned in recent years in an effort to curb the surge of home rental prices throughout the country. These proposals which would generally allow landlords to boost monthly rents by no more than 2% to 10%, are now on the legislative agenda in more than a dozen states. Rental prices are up about 18% on average over the past 2 years. It's more like 22%. I keep on seeing 18. It's 22 to 25%. According to real estate broker Redfin Corporation, hitting record levels across the U.S. In quotations, rentals are exploding at a pace far faster than income. You know why? Because Blackstone is buying 40 houses a week. I can't even say this fucking name. Something Van Newtenberger, an economist and professor at Columbia Business School who researched rent control. The problem is now as bad as it's ever been and probably much worse. But what's the problem? Is it rent? Or is it that we're dealing with this shit that we're dealing with in which the regular person doesn't have a fighting chance? Real estate's dead. Realtors are quitting at an all-time high. Look around. The successful realtors have gotten away from the old school, the old school box real estate versions of how the companies were. Let me reword that. So real estate is one of those things that hasn't changed for shit. Let me tell you this. Buying a house and selling a house doesn't take nothing but a couple of clicks, and it autopilots the whole thing. It doesn't take much. It used to be a prestigious job, and it held a high title. You're nothing now. You're a paper pusher in a company that all they're doing is pimping you. That's it. They're pimping you. They need you. Those big brokers just need bodies and seats, and they need you to keep. It's a Ponzi scheme. They sell houses so they can cover their Ponzi scheme, but it's a Ponzi scheme. This shit doesn't work. Real estate agents, you should be out there looking for properties for yourself. You should be out there looking for investments. You should be learning about property management. If you don't want to do property management and you want to make money, I mean, at the end of the day, the goal is to make money. Buy your own properties. That's what you need to do, not work for somebody. There's no point in giving nobody those splits. Those splits are fucking pathetic. They really are. I'm never going back. Then that's today's show. I appreciate everybody for being here. Thank you for all the new followers. Thank you for everybody watching. My name's Kasabian. Live in the moment. Don't live in the past. Be safe. Stay dangerous. Lavoe loves you. One. Send a couple shots to Big Papa. One.